Welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and another opportunity to see my messy gaming table, which I still haven't cleared up from the last game, but also to see, more importantly, this box, because inside it is some goodness from Bloody Miniatures. Every time I see this red tissue paper, I know I'm in for some delight. So Richard, thank you very much for sending these out. I bought the first, as soon as I saw these go up on sale, I had to have them. This is the new Bloody Miniatures ECW Cavalry. Let's take a look. Right, so I've sorted through the different figures and I think I've got these right. So first up, let's take a look at the troopers. Now, Richard says these are stern harquebuses in lobster-tailed helmets, back and breast, buff coats, slung carbines and drawn pistols. Righteous men all. And there you go. This guy's obviously got his pistol, about to do some mischief with this. I mean, I've said this on previous videos looking at these Bloody Miniature figures. The detail on these is something to behold, and I also particularly like the fact that you've got the guard on the helmet, and it's perfect. It comes out really, really well. So you can see there's a clear I think you can see there. Hope you can see there. There's a clear clear gap between the nose and the face of the figure and the metal bar. Detail is fabulous. And this guy here, he's got his pistols hanging down, so the carbines are slung and the pistols drawn for up close and personal. So that's the troopers. Oops. The next set is the flashing blades, dashing cavaliers, swords, big feathered hats, flouncy attire, lacy collars, cuffs, boots, hose and showy sashes. Well, good thing I'm doing a royalist army then, isn't it, really? Because these fellas will fit in beautifully. Really, really nice. There's the other guy. Bit of cleaning up needed on some of these, but not too bad by the look of it. Mainly removing the sections here that hold the sword scabbard away. Fabulous detail. Really nice indeed. So that was the flashing blades. Then you've got the lobsters. Now the lobsters he describes as grim-looking cuirassiers at the attack. 3/4 armour, pistols, hammers and axes. Just awesome. Just awesome. Now, I'm doing EPIC 30-year war at the moment, and I would love to have some of these at the right scale for that. Richard, can you just reduce them down in scale a little bit, please? Would seem a shame really, because you'd lose all this lovely detail. So this guy's got his, is that the right one? I think he has. He's got his pistol drawn, ready to go. The other two have got their axes and maces. Love them. Really, really cool. And then the full set, as you can see, I bought the, he does, if you buy all 4 packs of the Cavalry, you get a small discount, so it's £50 I think for the 12 figures. These are the Moss Troop Ride. Dangerous malcontents and discharged soldiers. Long coats, long hair, floppy hats, pistols, carbines. Now, I have a royalist army in 28mm. So I'm afraid this whole unit whole lot will become a unit, and they're all going to be press ganged into one formation. Just because really. Love this guy pointing his pistol. Fantastic. Fantastic. Really nice indeed. The horses, now these are, I don't believe Richard sculpted these himself, but he did adapt these. These are, I forget which the manufacturer is, or the sculpture is, but they're quite nice. They're pretty good, I think, and they'll look awesome with the rider on top. Let's have a look at the other horses. There's another one here. Really good. So there you go. So that is the 12 of them. I suppose I'm going to have to paint them up then, aren't I? Back in a few seconds. Well, for you, probably be a few days for me. And there you go. That's the unit finished. And I'd fully intended to spend a fair bit of time doing these, but in the end, I just cracked on, and they were so enjoyable to paint. And for me, that's very unusual because I'm not a painter. I'm a gamer, but actually, I thoroughly enjoyed painting these up. They were tremendous fun. The sculpting is such that they kind of become easy to paint, and to me, that's a massive win on every score. You can see I've combined them all into one unit. I know some were supposed to be Puritan, and some were supposed to be Royalists, and some were just sort of general malcontents. But I would only use them as a unit. I don't do skirmish games for ECW, so you know, these were going to be part of a formation for me to use in my army, and I have a Royalist ECW army, so that was an easy choice for me to make. So there'll be a veteran unit, combination of guys who picked up armour from around the place, some are a bit more worn and carefree about their uniforms, that sort of thing, but they will be definitely a veteran unit within my Royalist 28mm army, and I will have great delight in using these to smash into the Puritan forces. You can see I've painted them up just sort of fairly simplistically, I guess. I tried to do a bit of edging on some of the armour. That's the one bit I'm not terribly happy about, but that's not the figure's fault. That's more my inability to do really fine detail. But they've come out pretty well, and certainly will look brilliant. I mean, they look brilliant from a reasonable distance, which is how they're all going to be used. And certainly when you put them under a strong light, like they have here in the photo box, you see every blemish and every little mistake much more clearly than you do when they're on the table, so I'll take that. What to say, I painted I mean, a mixture of paints, mainly contrast paints actually. I used a lot of, well, not contrast, I used the Vallejo speed paints for a lot of the colour on them, and then went back in and just highlighted a bit as well with other similar colours, which was easy and made it a lot easier to do. The armour, there's 3 different types of colours I think I've used there. A dark gunmetal, which is almost a black colour, a lighter gunmetal, or I think it's called plate mail, from Valet or Army Painter I used on a couple, and then the sort of more bluey tinted one, that was actually a black. That's one, I think that's the black colour you get from the Vallejo speed paints, just sort of lightly touched up with a bit of silver, just to give a bit of edging to it, and yeah, very happy with how it came out, particularly like the ribbons on them. I had a crisis of confidence around them, whether to have multiple colours. In the end, I just sort of decided to make them all red, so they all link together in one force. So there you go. That's them finished, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. I think they're brilliant figures. The basing is Vallejo mud with some tufts pushed in. and they're on 50 by 50 bases, I think. So yeah, thoroughly recommend these figures. I really enjoyed painting them, and as I say, I don't claim to be a painter. I'm more of a gamer, but I actually enjoyed painting these figures, and that's unusual for me. I don't dislike painting, but I don't particularly like it. So to actually say I really enjoyed painting is unusual for me. So take that as you will. And if you're interested in the Bloody Miniatures range, check out its website. It's got quite a sizable collection now. You know, they're all sort of one-off type. If you're playing skirmish games, they're ideal. Or you're playing something like Pikeman's Lament, you could build a force, very unique force, using his figures, or just intersperse them into your bigger units, or just do them because you fancy painting them up and putting them into your big blocks. Or you could go completely crazy like I've done here, painting 12 to put into one solid unit of cavalry, because I just think these are brilliant. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all those good stuff, all those internety things. Appreciate your thoughts on the figures. Are you looking to buy any of them yourselves? If so, how are you going to use them? You're going to use them as skirmish games? Love to know what sort of skirmish rules people are playing, because that would be interesting. I don't know of many real skirmish games for ECW yet, but I'm sure there's some out there. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you again soon. This is Dom, signing out.